All right, so today I want to walk you through a new approach to wellness called WAVS. We're going to look at how it's designed to provide really personalized health insights and then dive into what a unique and frankly zero risk collaboration could look like to bring it to life.
So here's a quick roadmap of what we'll cover. We'll start with the why, the modern wellness need that's out there. Then I'll introduce WAVS as a non-clinical solution. We'll look at how it turns data into action, get into the nuts and bolts of the LabCorp partnership, and finally, wrap up with why this is a completely zero-risk collaboration. Okay, so let's start with the big picture. There's this growing gap in personalized health. So many people want to understand their bodies better, to get real data-driven insights, but they're not necessarily sick. They're just curious about their wellness. And that's the gap we're talking about bridging. Which brings us to the central question, right? How can clients access their own personalized wellness data in a way that's actually easy to understand and act on, without having to navigate all the clinical barriers, especially for insights that are, by nature, non-diagnostic? And this is exactly where WAVES comes in. It's built to be a non-clinical solution. The whole idea is to empower clients by using their own data, but for education and guidance, not diagnosis. So, at its core, WAVES is a wellness brand, and it's all about empowering women through these really personalized, integrative health services. It's about giving them the tools and the knowledge they need to take control of their well-being. The whole approach is built on three main pillars. First, there's vital diagnostics. This is about giving clients access to things like wellness panels and blood work. But honestly, the magic really happens in that second pillar, wellness and recovery. This is where we take those lab results and help clients build tailored nutrition plans. And then beauty and aesthetics kind of rounds everything out into a truly holistic view of wellness. So let's talk about how this actually works. How do we get from raw numbers on a page to something that can actually change someone's life? It's all about turning that data into an actionable plan. Everything, and I mean everything, starts with getting deep cellular level insight. We're talking about using comprehensive micronutrient testing. This goes way beyond your standard blood test to show how nutrients are actually working inside a person's cells over a good chunk of time. It's a much clearer picture. And this is the key. You take a super dense, maybe even intimidating lab report and distill it down into something like this, a simple visual summary. We break it all down to clear categories: deficient, borderline, normal. The whole goal is just to take away the confusion and give the client information they can actually understand and use. Now, the process for the client is super straightforward. First, they choose a wellness panel. Then, they pop over to LabCorp for a quick blood draw. And here's the important part. They get the comprehensive report sent directly to them. It's their data. Only then, if they want to, does WAVES come in to help create a non-clinical plan. Think meal plans, nutrition education, that sort of thing. And I have to stress this. Anything that looks remotely clinical gets immediately referred back to their primary care physician. Always. Okay, so that brings us to the operational side of things, the LabCorp partnership, and the one key administrative piece that we need to make this all flow smoothly.
So what is our role exactly? Well, WAVES is acting strictly as a non-clinical lab coordinator. Think of us as a bridge. We're just helping clients access the exact same direct-to-consumer tests they could go and order themselves from LabCorp's website. The big value add from us is that we can pass on a heavily discounted business price, and then we provide that educational coaching on the back end.
The workflow is really designed for client privacy and transparency. We place the order, the client gets the draw, and LabCorp sends the results straight to the client. We don't even see the results unless the client decides to share them with us for their wellness plan. And I know I'm repeating myself, but it's crucial. Any out-of-range values are immediately flagged for the client to go discuss with their PCP. And here it is. This is the one administrative hurdle, the whole reason for this conversation. To use the LabCorp business portal and get those discounted rates for these consumer tests, their system simply requires a National Provider Identifier, an NPI, to be on the account. It's just a required field in their software. So this leads right into the proposal. And I really want to be clear that what we're talking about is a truly zero-risk collaboration. Let's just spell out the exact scope of what I'm asking. Let's be crystal clear on this. WAVES handles literally everything. All client communication, submitting the orders, the non-clinical coaching, all of it. The NPI provider's role, it's purely for administrative purposes. That means absolutely no patient interaction, no access to their health info or results, and because of that, absolutely no clinical liability. It's just an administrative key to open the door to the portal. To put it as plainly as I possibly can,
And this is a direct quote from our info materials. This does not create any responsibilities. There are no approvals needed, no health information or results will ever be routed to you, and no system alerts. It really does just one thing. It satisfies the portal's required field. That's it.
So that's the whole proposal. It's a look at the mission of WAVS and a request that is, by its very design, purely administrative and carries zero liability. I really appreciate you taking the time to consider this, and I'd be more than happy to do a live walkthrough of the portal with you whenever you have a moment, just so you can see exactly how it all works for yourself.